Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and I'm proud to announce we're at Indianapolis, Indiana at PRI, the biggest motorsports event in the country. And my guest today is Steve Strupp, who I'm proud to announce is going to be an author in our soon-to-be released Mission Matters Motorsports Volume 1 edition. So pumped about that. And first off, hey, Steve, I just want to say welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. We appreciate being here.
All right, Steve. So one of my goals here, one of my missions is really to give our audience a unique perspective into not just PRI, but the racing business and the racing world in general. So first off, just get us kicked off. How did you get started in the racing world?
As a young man, got started racing literally Pintos on dirt tracks. That is where it started. I've been very blessed that it went from various forms of crew chief and business supporting and working on dirt track cars and doing all that stuff. We've been very blessed as crew chief. I think every aspect we've been in, we at some point won a championship.
Wow.
And as time evolved over the years, we did a lot of general mechanic work and various things. And a customer decided to buy a land speed car from Bonneville off of eBay. It was a very interesting journey. Went and inspected it and was told, get it home, we got 45 days to update it, and we're going. My question is, can I have a rule book? And tell me where I'm going. But I like to tell people, I've just been very fortunate to have a broad background. When we're able to do that, it actually took 60 days to find a second there. But for me, it was my first trip ever to Bonneville. For the customer, it was his first trip ever. We bought it, proven piece, but it had been sitting for 4 years. And our first time ever there, went to learn and get licensed, and was actually able to put the owner in the 200-mile club.
Wow.
First time any of us ever sat foot on salt. And as he puts it, he got inoculated with disease right there. From there, we built 2 more cars. Picked up some other clientele, obviously, from doing what we were doing there. Put that gentleman, Mr. Jack Rogers, in more 200 clubs in Indiana history, which included Australia. It was a blast. Very, very blessed to have great customers. And then he decided another eBay story. He calls me in Bonneville and tells me, hey, get you a passport. You're going to pick up this Mustang somewhere in Oklahoma. They're bringing it to you. You're going to switch trailers. And I'll meet you in Laredo, and we're going to go with this convoy into Mexico, and we'll run the 7-day road route. And I was like, hey, we've been checking the car out. We've tested it. It's great. Yeah, okay, whatever. It was a very, very stressful first week. The event is called the Walk Road of Americana. It's a 7-day with over 2,000 mile closed road run. It is addictive. It's challenging. You will run the gamut of every emotion. It will run the gamut of every emotion that you have. You will run every emotion that you have, from your highest high to your lowest low, from the crew to the driver to the navigator. It ended up being my wife. You will cycle through that high to low 7 times a day. You will want to fight, cry, kiss, hug, constantly. It's challenging. But that's kind of how things evolved. We ended up supporting and fielding cars for that for 15 years. Still do. So we built 3 more Bonneville cars. Mr. Rogers Camaros is the production car at Bonneville. 69 Camaro. I think I've got the record. It's 249, just under 250. There's nothing about a 69 Camaro body that can do that. It takes a lot of brute force and a lot of luck. And then from that land speed background, the various people we know, ECTA, which was formerly the East Coast Timing Association, I'm the owner and president. If the previous owners my wife and I would be a perfect candidate to take it over. Their life had got too busy and they were out. And that's sort of how this evolved. And then moved ECTA to Arkansas, very northeast corner of Arkansas, about 50 miles north of Memphis. So the term Arkansas throws a lot of people because it's a broad area. I mean, you can stand in the racetrack and see the Watertown, Missouri. You're that close. And this will be our 6th year. We bought it in 2018. And it's been a journey, but we've grown it to one of the premier land speed events in the country. You can run, well, our last event, motorcycles, a farm tractor, and an original cross, 78 mile an hour.
Wow.
Which he now owns. At our event, he set a record 3 distances. Mosley has three world records, all the way up to, we had one of the Dragon Drive gentlemen, Clark Rosenstein, brought his Camaro, and he bumped the track record, and then another gentleman bumped it again. They were both 250 plus.
Wow.
So it's the game. A lot of the very unique stuff like Bonneville, the one-off, the innovative, a lot of small motorcycle stuff, all the way up to 250 mile an hour. Twin turbo, Hayabusa, wide open, you name it. The majority of my last 5 years have been devoted to refining the timing system, and we're here in Trackside's booth, and that's been part of our journey. We found somebody that could work with us because of the uniqueness of our industry. There's things that made it challenging for software companies, and it helps people understand you can run anything. There are over 6,000 motorcycles and over 6,000 companies. That many different classes. Everything is broken up by kind of type of vehicle, age, size of motor, if it's on nitrous, it's all motor, if it's blown, number of cylinders. Everybody's, well, that's cool. Like, yeah, they started making this. Because it's ever going to end, and it ended somewhere a little over 6,000. And you get to be on the cutting edge of a lot of technology. Like 2 years ago, we had to add some fuel categories to the business. There's a gentleman who started a company that's doing liquid propane conversion to production vehicles. Wow. So we didn't have propane as a fuel. So, okay.
6001.
Yeah, here we go. Here's another 8. But it's the innovation, leading edge technology is what makes the land speed racing so cool. And then the other segment of our life is the building these vintage rally cars. There's rallies in Mexico and Newfoundland and places like that. And those can vary from a 1950 65 Mustang to a Mitsubishi. It's been a fun journey. It has tons of challenges. A group of us that are service guys that do this, years back we got to adding it up. How many years have we done this? And we realized we have driven over 60,000 miles in those service trucks.
Wow.
We've been 200 miles from Guatemala. We've been south of Veracruz. We've been south of Acapulco. We've got to see. I've got to see a whole lot of the world I never got to see. We ship cars. For one client, we shipped the semi, the race cars, everything else. Took all that out to the salt flats. With the directions are, go to this point, turn off the paved road. Proceed 110 miles and wouldn't.
Yeah.
And when they say off the paved road, we're talking outback desert roads. You're from the West Coast, you know what the road's out there. That's the washboard just graded out and berm on the side. 110 miles of that was 79,000 pounds.
Oh.
That was not set up for, it's basically a NASCAR hauler And you're looking at dry washers and this and that. I set like 8 inches off the ground. This is not going to be a good idea today, but grace of God, it happened. It worked. We got everybody to club, and we got it out and got it in.
Wow. So Steve, a lot of entrepreneurs, executives, just business owners, so people, various businesses, whether it's in the race car business or otherwise, that watch this program. And I just have to ask you, I mean, your story's amazing, first off, like the types of experiences that you've had, the places you've been. But as an entrepreneur, what keeps you in the game and motivated?
I couldn't say no to that challenge. I have my wife's exact quote. One of my customers was sitting at a table. She goes, I want to feed both of them. And we're like, why? She looks at the other. She goes, you won't say you can't afford it. He won't say you can't afford it. This is like, I'm going to shoot both of you. You've got to quit. No. And the experience. It's been a very interesting journey going from being a guy on the creeper to the guy that's supposed to be, having my shirt and stand out front. It's been quite a journey. I look back at blessings I had in my life that I had no idea what I was doing. But I was fortunate in the dirt track world. These gentlemen weren't friends of mine, so I got to watch what they accomplished. One of them was Earl Maltz, who built the Billboards, Tony Stewart. Another man was Bob Miller, who built the dirt track series for World Outlaws. That is now the World Outlaws. Neither one of these gentlemen acted like they were getting finished. Earl's the first man to pay $1 million per dance. Just an everyday hobby. And the two big things that always stuck out to me after I had learned to motor, what were their successes? Everybody will know it, knows that Scott Williams is I remember being at a door with a customer. Scott won his skills. One of his skills was white. So they let him pull off and go through the mud twice trying to find a way. They still couldn't quit. It took that much time for Earl, the owner, to make it from the other end of the bricks down. Because there was a whole big hole there. How many times you don't let him try and not out of it? And I will never forget when a little smaller stature man who walked up, probably in his late 60s. And cars up on the square. And he leans down like a dirt lake bottle is and looks across and says, what happened? I said, Scott, what happened? Well, I'm 4 pounds light. Let me go through the mud. He told his story. I remember him tapping his hand on the sheet metal. And this is the superstar. This is the rock star. Thanks for coming, Scott. See you next time. And he turned and walked away. That don't bend. Rules don't change. And the same with Bob Miller, who built him. His maximum width was almost 2 inches narrower than the other section. And the guys were all crying because when they come to the old door, we got to pull the bodies in, beat the noses in, give us the other 2 inches. He's sitting in this old wore-out Dodge van. I had 300,000 miles. The old pop-top Dodge van. That was his office. And I'll never forget this whole power. Those boys, if I told you they could be 110 wide, you'd show up 110. It doesn't matter how wide I throw you can be, but always try to do it. You'll just push it. There's no reason to. Valid point. I'm a crew chief. I build them. Whatever you give me, I'm going to try to squeeze it. I'm going to try to squeeze it just a little part. And knowing, not knowing what I was supposed to be learning about them. I look back on those things and that's what's helped us some. And it's caused a few hard things. But, people challenge me about the field of safety rules. And why is it got to be that way? Because what the rule book says. It's just the bottom line. There's no committee. I am the president, and I am open. If you can show for this, we'll fix it. But if there's no reason to do it other than you think it's some advantage, no, we're not. We're keen to have fun. It's a true amateur motorsport. You're racing to get a certificate. That's what it is. And like you can run your 2009 new production cars, really track they do. You can run up to 199. After 2009, there was a huge change in the track standards. That's where that's how it evolved from. But it allows the everyday guy or the little businessman guy or the executive that's got his toys in the garage, he can get them out and come play. The racetrack, they got to come out. And that's, we've got a lot of very great people. It's a little bit of it, but yet having been to all the events, I'm very, very serious about it. A lot of work.
And it's a crapshoot of who's going to be there and who's not. But we'll
comfortable for.
You never know.
The modern cars, it's easy for them. It's not complicated. Our rookie process is simple. It's not complex. But yet I have room for streamliners, belly tankers, farm tractors. I don't care what level of support, the bikes and the tire warmers. We have everything worked out to where it works for everybody. Because that is the challenge. To still be hospitable to the very one-off special built cars. You know, it's easy to run cars that got air conditioning, cruise control. You know, I mean, a lot of these cars are so stock. One gentleman, he was about 5 miles an hour slow one passing the helicopter. What happened? Oh, he said, you know, I got my steering wheel controls and I can hear your announcer on the FM and I can hear my speeds. And he goes, I was trying to turn my volume up because I forgot to turn it up and I missed one of my shifts. And this is some gentleman running 175 miles an hour.
Wow.
You know, so it's from that casual, comfortable to purpose-built 250 mile an hour wheels.
Wow.
You know, need push trucks and vehicles do that. And that was one of my challenges, is making sure we were hospitable for everybody. And as I said, Mr. Rogers got on the thing, he wanted to run every one that existed. And all the two clubs. Did not know back when I did that, that afforded me to see the good and the bad and ugly of every one that existed.
Wow.
So it was like, all right, we've seen all the good and bad and ugly. Let's make the ugly list. Because everybody's like, what was good? And I'm not as focused on the good as what was the ugly.
Yeah.
Because those are the we can't do.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm an oxymoron in that. It's like, what can be great? And I know I will eliminate what can be bad. If I'm hearing all the bad, it's naturally good. So what other questions you got?
So a lot of people that are watching this, they may not even know that there's racetracks around them. So I've had this conversation with a lot of people when I was coming out here. They're like, well, there are any racetracks around us because, okay, we know the racetracks that maybe you see on TV, right? That's pretty straightforward. But I tell people, do a Google search, see what's around you. What kind of things would you tell to the, let's just say, modern racetrack enthusiast that hasn't really been out? They've seen it on TV a bit. They're thinking about, like, is this for me? Like, what would you say to newbies to the industry and to the sport?
Like you said, it's just new. But the biggest thing is to find out what's geographically the most convenient to you. Look up who the modifiers and tuners of your car are, the top ones in your area, because they're the ones that are going to play, and they know where to go play. Because it's like picking, whether it's carburetors or whatever part. I've been very blessed to have a lot of success and great networking. As I tell people, I'm not smart, I got a good evidence. But, well, let's just say carburetors. I can give you 8 guys, and you can argue who's best, but they're all closest to you. And everybody says, who do I go to? It's the one's closest. There's a huge benefit to something is wrong, and the same as you're going to pick a track. There's no fun in picking a venue that you got to travel. I mean, now I have people come 20 hours, but still, to get started, there's no fun in starting 20 hours away. You want to find something within 3 to 4 hours, or 2 to 3. But that's how you get your feet wet without burning up the whole weekend sitting behind the steering wheel.
Yeah.
The windshield time gets on. Yeah, find your tuner shops or performance shops for your vehicle and ask them, where's everybody going to have fun?
Yeah.
What are they doing? And once you get started, I don't care what venue you go to. There will be guys there that do other stuff. And from there, it just sort of, the information just balloons from there. But find the closest place and you'll have some fun. Whether that's a drag strip, you know, the little backwoods drag strip, or, you know, the finest road. And don't be afraid. A lot of people are very nervous. And I hear it from some extremely successful people. I don't know anything about it. I don't want to look a fool and all that. Oh, believe me, I get it. I'm the guy that's been 3 cars from the start, and an owner decides, no, I want you to drive. Jump in.
Yeah.
Oh, great, thanks. Okay, I guess we'll figure it out. I understand. Well, I'm a little stupid. But you will not find that really. Everybody will help you. Everybody's been there. And especially at our land speed station. Because there's no money, there's no purse. Everybody will help you. Because it's all personal best. And there's an addiction to it because everybody's like, well, you just put your foot on the floor and go. Like, yes and no, because you will find out managing your shift points. Just what you can do in the seat can vary 5 to 8 miles. And as soon as somebody figures that out, well, now the game is on. The game is on because I did that and I got 3. No. And then somebody else with the same car says, well, no, I tried this and that got me another 2.
And the game's not.
Yeah, it's on. You're mentally hooked. You've been vaccinated, and and you're going to have to prove I can get this better and better. Or I'm going to figure out something the rest of them didn't figure out. And that's a lot of it. The no purse makes it, on the land speed side, the no purse makes it so different because you get a certificate.
Yeah.
But it's, all the distances are surveyed out. Timing equipment is international quality. It's used for our stuff, FIA events, Olympic skiing, you name it. I'm pretty picky about making sure it's accurate. There's no fun doing it if somebody can come back and dispute what you did. But again, like I said, find what's closest to you and go have fun. And just go visit. And even if you don't think you know how to do it, guess what? There'll be guys there who say, bring your car around. Because it's grassroots racing. This will take a minute, I'll give you an example of the story. I was on the way to Texas 2-3 weeks, whatever. To spend right before Thanksgiving. The Tuesday before Thanksgiving, I left to go to Texas to meet up with my wife at a friend's house and help him with some stuff. I'm pulling a 38-foot open trailer behind the vehicle. And I stop at 3:45 in the morning to get gas at a little gas station. And the fuel pump goes out of my trailer.
Oh.
I can't get off the island. I'm in Little Rock, Arkansas. Great. We've been in worse state. What are we going to do? There's a Motel 6 next door. Call AAA. They come out. We get it off the island, and there is a vacant lot next door. So I get it parked. Okay, we're out of the way. Let's figure out what we're going to do. I'm going to get me a room, sit and think for a minute. Get on Facebook. Make a post about, hey, who have I got close? Who do I know? Or know somebody? I got to figure out what I'm going to do. Here's the situation. How this evolved. And I knew none of these people. I knew none of them. But they're racers. They knew of me from ECTA and all, but never knew me. By 7:45 a.m., one gentleman had picked up my trailer and took it with me, so I didn't have to worry about moving it. And I had an appointment at the Watney Chevrolet dealership to be fixed that day, and I don't even think about it.
I just did. It says, are you guys coming?
And 3:45 is when I start the truck. At 3:30, I was looking at my trailer that afternoon.
That's amazing.
And that's what I tell everybody about the racing community. They can tell you've been part of it, you don't get it. But it is very much a brotherhood. And none of these gentlemen ever been to my events. Never met them. And literally, You know, and I'm sitting there, thank you, Lord. You know, take the blessing. And I've lived in this world for a long time. Like some people, I make the post, you know, like, hey, dude, bail me out. What can I do? I had options, but let's figure it out. One of my daughters saw it, a friend of hers called, said, "You see your dad standing here on the rock?" And they're like, "Yeah, what's he'll be fine. We'll figure it out." They go, "Yeah, we looked at 3:30, we were on the road." The racing network, as you can see looking around the show here, look at the diversity and the countries and everything else that's here. But at the end, everybody's racing.
Yeah.
One statement I've made about racing is when there was a fire, there's nobody's favorite place. Because once the adrenaline and the pressure hits, you can't hide who you are. So, if you're just really on a very good person, you should kind of get pushed. I don't mean that negative to anybody, but you know, all walks of life, but everybody's helping somebody else. And everybody sees everybody for who they really are. And that's one of the weaknesses in motorsports. You can't hide who you are. When you sleep deprived, your ego, money, adrenaline, stress, all those in one person, you can't hide who you are. The real you comes out. And yeah, sometimes you do kind of, you might blow off your steam, but there's still some character in how you blow off that steam. You might blow up and yell, but that's nothing different than you start tearing things up and being a total idiot. I think that's one of the things that keeps everybody in it. And I guess as a business owner, why it's hard to walk away, because I've been behind the scenes of a lot of other things inadvertently. And I look at these other people and clientele, I'm so grateful for who my network is. Like I can't put up with this. I don't have the patience. But it's just a brotherhood. A friend of mine at the 60th birthday party, we actually had the racing friends that flew all the way from Europe. We had all these hometown friends, my friends, and I liked his definition. You know, he had introduced the four of us that were there to all his other lifelong friends. He goes, your racing family is like the foxhole maze in the world. He said, you may not stay in close touch and you may not know the details of your life, but if you call, they'll take the call. And if you need something, they'll say, what do you need? And it is very true. Like the example we broke down the other day. 12 hours later, I'm back on the road. You know, I've got an appointment at the GM deal, and they're not even open yet. You know, the gentleman that grabbed my trailer was a service manager at a different brand, but he's friends with the service manager there. So he texts him, sends him my VIN number, and takes a picture, and like he gets a hold of the service guy, yeah, we can have a pump by 11, yeah, get him in here, let's get it out of here. Okay, we got it. So literally before 8 o'clock, I got this call AAA back, hey, I got my trailer going, bring flatbed, grab my truck, this is where we're going. But in the twist and turns of life, I just had to laugh. It's my normal journey. We rolled up to the dealership in the flatbed. And as we pull up, the transformer out back blows up and we lose power. I'm here, like, they'll get it fixed, you know, we're planning to go get some breakfast. You know. It doesn't surprise me. I mean, it's just, it won't happen. I'm pretty much just used to it. And that's where we built some of our customer base, especially in the rallies and other stuff. And it's not a negative comment, but you get a lot of really quality, let's say hot ones. So build a car for something, they take it, and they're great guys. They have no idea what the guy is in for. You know, this thing, with Mexican rallies, I mean, it's like Baja and Hayden. I mean, you are going to beat yourself for stuff like that. And they'll work, you know, and they'll do their best. And they're up against the wall. And a lot of our clientele has come from, you know, a competitor says, we're broke, we're done, we're done. Go to bed. Well, it'll be ready in the morning. Well, they don't. Never mind. Just go to bed. It may not be real pretty, but we got enough weapons with us. We can fix it. It may not be real pretty, but we can get you back on the road tomorrow. And the back of them, nobody's wasting money. It's not. It's not a challenge. And here's my perspective when we do it. You've invested $15,000 to $30,000 to get it.
Yeah.
We're on day 2. If we got to spend another $1,000 to keep going, at this point, it's kind of a new point.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just fix it. And we've learned how to get parts into Mexico overnight. That is having somebody as you back home on standby. Because it takes 2 days to get them through customs, but you can carry them. We'll be in Nevada, or we'll be in Guanajuato tomorrow night.
Driving.
Well, no, we're buying your tickets. You go to the airport, you grab your parts, go to the airport, get on the plane, and fly in. Because you can walk them through customs when we got our parts in there. But we can't overnight them and get them that quick. People, you did it. What? One year, a friend of mine actually had to fly. His engine builder flew his father down with parts to repair a cylinder head. And we sat there in the parking lot and basically did a manual valve job and put a couple guys in the set of heads and went back on the car and went on. But at this point, you do what you got to do.
Yeah.
So, how many books have you read?
Oh man, Steve, we got a lot, and this has been a lot of fun. I have to tell you, just getting an insight into your world, into racing, and also the community. So one of the things we talk about a lot at Mission Matters is community. And that's what you asked me a question earlier, which I'll answer, is how did I get involved in this? By accident. I wasn't planning on, I was a finance guy, I wasn't planning on starting a book company, on starting like a media company, on sitting around, interviewing people. Now over 6,000 interviews in, none of that was planned. It was really this community built around what we were doing. The first book that I actually published, I didn't even want to publish it. I didn't even know we were going to publish it. I put out this first book and others started asking me, hey, how can you help us publish books? And I'm like, I don't know how to publish books. Like I did one, it was for myself, but I didn't really know how to publish books in that sense. So then just this community evolved around it. And then I said, like you said in some of your earlier days, you just started saying yes. And then you say yes, and then you're like, how did I get myself into this? We're doing another thing and another thing. And then I just did a lot of what you're talking about, like same theme, just another business, but I just figured it out. I would argue that publishing a book is less complicated than putting together some of these vehicles. Much less complicated, in my opinion, than that. But really, that's how it started. It was just saying yes, and then this community of individuals came around, and then more people. Now we've published a little over 400 authors and over 6,000 interviews in. And I'm really excited about this motorsports book because, well, number one, it's bringing in a new community into what we've built, and I know a little bit about the motorsports community because I grew up in that community. My father owned an auto body shop in Michigan, so in Detroit, that's where I'm from. And so I was always around cars my entire life. So always around cars. And this gives me the opportunity to now have an excuse to come out to events like this and to meet individuals like yourself and get these stories out there. Because in my opinion, the story is so powerful. Just to not only encapsulate your legacy and what you've done and where you've been, but also so that the next generation that also wants to get involved in either racing or motorsports or otherwise, they know like that's a safe place, that's a community. That story that you told about the trailer, that's legendary. Like to me, I'm like wow, I can't think of me being on the side of the road and anybody helping me. I'm like a stranger and putting all these things together for me, like that's an amazing thing. And to me, like the community that you built around you, I don't think it's an accident. I think that we attract people to ourselves and to of like interest, of course, but also same heart, same vein, same types of individuals, same authenticity. That's one of the words that I like to use a lot is authenticity and bringing people together that you want to be with, right? Like who would you invite to your home for lunch or for dinner, or who do you want to break bread with? So to me, that's a very special thing. And I want to just thank you for coming on our show, for of course being involved in it. This is not going to be the last time that we talk. Any final words on how individuals, if they want to follow your story, learn more about ECTA, like how do people do that?
Just you go to ECTA Mile, that'll take you to the website. You can find links to me or whatever information you want. And I got to add to my list here. As a crew chief, I've got, well, I don't know the exact number anymore, but over 20 people I've put in the 200-mile-an-hour zone.
Wow.
The look on their face is probably one of the biggest rewards I've ever got. So now my question to you is, when are we doing it?
Oh man, that's what I'm talking about. This is what I'm here for. Well, to be continued, but that being said, we're going to do that. That's happening. So I just want to say, hey, for everybody that tuned in, really appreciate it. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button. We're going to be here at PRI for the next couple of days. Closing out the show, we have some more interviews coming up. Hope you enjoyed. Again, hit that subscribe button.